Welcome everyone. Today's video, we're going to address several things that are very important, such as can you work the state of Georgia without an attorney? How do you get people to call you back? And what do you do if you can't afford attorney, as well as several other issues that I want to address. So very important video. Please watch it. Okay. What you see on your screen here is an email that I received from somebody. I'm going to read the email because it's not uncommon for me to receive questions like this. And so I figured might as well make a video whenever I get multiple questions of the same nature. Figure it's time to make a video about it. Okay. So this is one of those instances. So let us read the email. Hey, Nick, I have my own tax overage business. I did a coin toss over a year ago trying to decide to take the course from you or someone else. I went with so-and-so. I have to say that they teach the course great. I went to Minnesota as a VIP student, I found out there they wanted $40,000 to actually help us get our first deal and to consult with us and be there for us one-on-one for anything that might come up. I will say I can email or call and ask a question and I can get an answer, but usually the same answer. My problem is they told me I can work Georgia with no attorney. However, I've been doing so with a year and I haven't got my first deal yet. I either can't get people to respond or there is a mortgage attached. Mainly, I can't get anyone to respond. All right, let's pause right there. First off, let me just apologize, guys. Obviously, this person bought someone else's program, then went to an event that probably cost them a few grand to attend. Then they were offered a $40,000 package. And so I guess I should apologize. I'm not a very aggressive marketer or salesman. And because of that, a lot of people do not go with my training. And that's unfortunate because I know that this person would be much better off had they gone through my training, is the bottom line. At least they wouldn't be just stuck with tax overages. They'd know how to do mortgage overages. They know how to work all the states. And they wouldn't be in this situation. They would also have the opportunity to partner with me, which would solve their issue with the attorney. But we'll get into that. So I apologize that I'm not aggressive in my sales or marketing to you. Here's the thing. I want you to understand that there are good things about this business and there are bad things about this business. There's good and bad in every business, but most people selling you a product on a business opportunity are only going to highlight the good things. I like to highlight the bad things too, because there are certain people that I want to work with. I want to work with people that are not living in fantasy land and understand that it takes a lot of effort to be successful in this business and any other business. Okay. Now let's address some of the problems. First problem she mentioned, they told me I can work Georgia with no attorney. Folks, I have done several deals in the state of Georgia, both tax overage deals and mortgage overage deals. I've done both in Georgia multiple times. Not once have I not used an attorney in Georgia. Even if you go online, go Google Georgia excess funds list, you'll find lists of Georgia, but you'll also find little snippets on the county websites that say, we will not accept limited powers of attorney. We will not accept or pay out checks to third parties. Okay. Major like red flag. Okay. The way you overcome that obstacle is you use an attorney. Use a freaking attorney. I don't know how many times I have to say this. Use an attorney for your deals. Now, she also mentions, I can't afford an attorney. Okay. Attorneys, not all of them, but some attorneys will work on what's called contingency. Okay. Meaning they will take their fees out of the surplus funds recovery. You don't have to have money up front to work with an attorney, is the bottom line. Okay. All right. Now, moving on. Second problem. I can't get people to respond, or there is a mortgage attached. Mainly, I can't get anyone to respond. Okay, so there's two problems here. Can't get people to respond, or a mortgage is attached. Here's the other part that is critical, guys. Like, I should start a whole nother video series debunking the myths that people are telling you to sell you on this business. Okay. A lot of people will tell you you can go out, find a list, call the person, sign them up, and collect the overage. Okay. You can do that, but here is what you're going to encounter. You are going to discover, just like this person has discovered, that if there's a mortgage attached to that tax sale overage, that mortgage has priority to the funds, and you will find that some counties will refuse to pay out the money to your client until that mortgage is paid off. Okay. And so you end up chasing deals that are dead from the start. Okay. Furthermore, this isn't mentioned here, but just because you have a list online and there's a name on that list, it doesn't mean that name is actually the person entitled to the funds. Okay. Counties make mistakes. Not all of their information is up to date. Not all of it is correct. So how do you overcome this problem? You learn how to do debt research and title research. You learn how to find out who was the owner, what mortgages exist. If you can't do that, you do a title search, or you have somebody do that for you. Okay. That's a very important step. Okay. My process is as follows. Step one is create your leads. Multiple ways to do that. Not hard. Step two is conduct research. In step two, that's where you skip trace or find the contact information for the claimant, but then you also do your debt research. Step three is you contact the person. Step four is you contract, get the paperwork signed, and 5, submit, profit from the deal. Okay. A lot of people are not being taught how to do step two properly, conduct research. Now, let's move on to the other problem this person mentioned was, I can't get people to respond. Very common. This problem falls into step 3, which is contacting people. Listen very carefully. I'm going to give you a very big golden nugget, but this information is free. And unfortunately, most people will do nothing with the information that I'm about to give you. Okay. So I have no problem giving you this information. If you are only contacting the claimant, that's why you're not getting any callbacks. Listen very carefully to what I'm about to say. If you want people to respond to you, you need to be contacting not only the claimant, but also any of their relatives or anybody they might know, friends, associates, whatever. That is called the 3 levels deep theory. If you're only contacting the claimant, you're not working hard enough to find that person. If you're not contacting their relatives, if you're not contacting their neighbors, don't expect to get a deal. Okay? Like that's just the bottom line. Like, here's another secret, guys. People who are successful in this or any business is not because they're super talented. It's because they're willing to do more than their competition. Okay. And that's like, I am not talented. I am not a smart guy. I was just willing to do a little extra than what the rest of the people around me were doing when I first started out in this game. Okay. So not only would I try to call the claimant, but I'd contact their relatives, I'd contact their neighbors. If they were local to me, I'd go in person. I'd send letters. I'd try to, it's somewhat annoying, right? I'd call, send letters, send text messages, whatever I had to do to get the message in front of the prospect. Say, hey, there's money here for you. Okay. And so if you're not getting that message out to as many people as possible that are connected to the person that's owed money, that is why you are not getting responses. That's why. Okay. You're only trying to reach the claimant. That's child's play. You need to do more. Okay. If you want to increase your chances of success, you need to do more. You need to work more. That's the bottom line. And if you don't do it, then you need to train somebody to do it. Okay. So that's a big thing people miss. Like that's this problem. And then again, this is why I'm making this video. The problem of I can't get people to respond. That is very, very common. And I just told you how to overcome it. Now, moving on. Have you found that you can work Georgia without an attorney? Already answered that question. No, don't work Georgia without an attorney. Bottom line. I can't afford an attorney until after I get some money in, as I'm not working on anything but this business. I've had savings, but I'm at the end of it. And this is the last month I'll even be able to pay my bills. You don't need money up front to afford an attorney. We talked about that. But that last part gets me, ma'am. And this is why I have to apologize like that. I'm not aggressive, because this person would be in a better situation if they had gone through my training, but whatever. They made us think this was a quick and easy process. All right, there's another myth. Nothing about this is fast, okay? Anyone who tells you that you're going to get paid in 30 to 60 days, they don't know what they're talking about, okay? Can it happen? Yes, but it is extremely rare, okay? When you file your claim, expect a minimum of 4 months before you get a check. If you're working a estate deal where the claimant's deceased, plan on a minimum of 6 months, okay? If you need money today, if you're struggling to pay your bills right now, do not get into the surplus funds business. Let me repeat that. If you are struggling to pay your bills today, do not get into the surplus funds or overage business. Do not buy my program. Do not buy anybody's program. Go get another job or go sell something where you can make money now and pay your bills, and then come back and revisit this opportunity. Okay. You need to have a little bit of stability in your life if you want this to work. Make sense? All right. Going back to the email, getting a list is quick and easy. I agree with that. Lists are plentiful. I can do that all day long, and I have countless lists, and skip tracing is easy. I agree there too. However, I can't get people to answer calls, texts, emails, letters, Facebook, or anything. Very, very common. That is a very common process or problem to have. And again, I told you how to overcome that. Secondly, the other thing you need to have, and this is something that I'll be training on soon. It's something that I've been testing, and I'm very happy finally with how it's come about. When you do have a good contact info for a claimant, whether it's an email or a phone number, you need to be able to put them into an automated sequence so that they get follow-ups or reminders of who you are, how you can help them, and that there's money waiting for them. And those reminders need to go out to that person automatically without you having to do it manually. That is a process you need to have in place to up your success rate. And if you don't have that, you're missing out on a lot of deals. I will be training on that here shortly, okay? It'll be a free training on that. If you're subscribed to the channel, you'll be notified of it. But I do agree, getting a list, pretty easy. Making your own list, that's a skill, and that's a critical skill that I think is also important to have success in this business is not relying on lists, but knowing how to make your own list. And that's something that I also teach that other people don't teach. Skip tracing, pretty straightforward. That's finding people's phone numbers. All right, let's finish this and wrap this up. I've been following your group on Facebook for a while now, and I so wish I had took your course, but as usual, I made the wrong decision. It happens. If I had $1 for every person that told me that, I wish I had taken your course besides so-and-so's, probably retire by now. Can you give me any help or advice? I understand if you can't since I didn't take your course, but I'm desperate, so I thought I'd ask. I hope this video helped. Okay. I tried to be as straightforward as possible. Okay. I don't know what else to do or say other than what I have already said. Okay. Take what I have told you and implement it, or just say, hey, that was a good video. Good job, Nick. And then carry on and don't do anything with it. Either way. But I don't know. It just makes me mad sometimes when I get messages like this, because I know like they could be in a better spot. And here's the thing too, like, here's the other thing that's scary, guys. This person's very close. Many of you are very close to succeeding, like extremely close. You don't even realize how close you are. Like, she's done a lot of the work. She's got leads. She skip traced them, but she's just missing that one thing, right? To get people to respond. Hopefully the nugget that I gave you here, going 3 levels deep, hopefully that is the thing that is that helps her break through. Okay. And that might be the thing that helps you break through. But that's, as someone who does the business, but also educates on the business, this is the thing that is extremely frustrating for me is I can see, like, when people come to me and they tell me what they have done, I can see how close they are. And they're so close. And then most people, they quit right before they're about to have the breakthrough. And they don't make it. And it's sad. It's really sad. But it's also, I cannot tell you how many times I've had those moments in my own life and in my own journey where I wanted to quit, or I wanted to not make that last phone call. But I said, okay, just get it over with. Just make that last call, or send that letter, or go knock on that door. And usually that last thing that you do is the thing that causes you to break through and actually get the deal. But most people stop right before they hit that moment, and they never make it. And it sucks. It's sad. It's sad to see, because you invest so much time and energy into something, and to not see anything come to fruition, it sucks. But you have to understand that you will be tested. You will be tested multiple times. And if you walk out of the test, you fail the test. It's the bottom line. Or if you don't have that little nugget that breaks through, or you don't implement the thing that you have not done yet, you don't see the new result that you're looking for. And unfortunately, a lot of people fall into that boat. And right at the moment where they're about to have a breakthrough, they stop and they go do something else. And they learn about a new opportunity and they go try that opportunity. And then maybe you have experienced this. Maybe you have experienced the process of, you try a business opportunity, it didn't work. You go try something else, it didn't work. You go try something else, it didn't work. And I'd have you consider that it may not necessarily be the thing that you were doing didn't work. It may be the fact that you quit in the moment that you were being tested and you didn't break through, and then you decided to try something else, and so you just restarted. You put yourself back at the beginning. And we all do that in life. We all do these circles where we stop and we restart, we stop and we restart, and we never make any actual progress. So I hope the information here will help some of you that may find yourself in similar situations or maybe facing similar problems, and that you can use what you've learned in this video to overcome those problems. Appreciate you guys. If you have questions, post them down below. We'll see you.